We're back. Woo!
Hello, hello.
It's time to chiller with Drusilla.
Who sent that in?
John Benito.
Thank you, John.
Bon, spelled B-O-N. Bon sign-on, John. It's really neato.
Good one.
I also want to share something Bill Lay posted about our What's My Line 2 Part 1.
Go for it.
Question. What does the French insect say? Answer. C'est la vie.
Hee hee. Sid has a rival.
He also wrote, in this episode, Drew was fishing for compliments.
With worms. Hee hee. Did he include the hee-hees? He certainly did.
Well, that's delicious.
We need to give Bill a very warm reception.
Hee hee. Thank you so much, Bill. Shall we jump into the BTS?
Let's do it.
I want to talk a bit about the scene when Buffy is asleep and the egg hatches. We'll talk more about it in chronology later, but what's interesting as far as BTS is that it was shot backwards. They started with the tentacles placed in her ear, eyes, and around her throat, and then they reeled it back into the egg at the hole. That way they can get everything placed perfectly. Reverse motion cinematography is used to great effect. Often it can create a dreamlike, poetic, surreal, or haunting feel. It can also create humor. In the Lumiere brothers film, Devastation of a Wall, reverse motion cinematography supposedly was discovered by mistake. It seems to bend time in the movie. Cocteau used this technique a lot. In Beauty and the Beast, it looks like candles are magically lighting themselves. It was the reverse of candles being blown out. When the Beast returns to his human body and rises from the ground, they shot it with him falling to the ground. In another Cocteau film, The Testament of Orpheus, sheets leap from canvases, shot by covering the canvases, and a woman fishes a burnt photo from a fire. She actually put it into the flames. The entire Czech film Happy End plays this way. It's a man's life in reverse. At the beginning, there's a trippy guillotine scene where his head flies back onto his body. In Christine, the car fixing itself was done by crew members making dents by pulling strings. Then it was played in reverse. In Top Secret, Val Kilmer tosses books back on their shelves and slides up a fire pole. Michael Mann's The Keep plays the smoke backwards. In David Lynch's Lost Highway, a burning cabin in the desert is shown with the fire moving in reverse. It's such a memorable sequence. Evil Dead 2 makes use of it. Memento uses reverse action in the opening, which sets up the whole nature of the movie. In La La Land, in the planetarium, characters fall into their seats. In Hunger Games, Katniss recalls her father's death in both forward and backwards imagery. Reverse action is used in the movie Tenet, where time runs backwards. The title itself is the same backwards and forwards. The opening titles of Halloween from 2018 reverses a rotting pumpkin. The pumpkin becomes whole, generates back to life, which visually signifies the rebirth of the franchise. A cool tip that can be used in movies for stabbing or hitting is having the actors pull away. When played in reverse, it looks more forceful and powerful. The actors' actions can be more aggressive and violent pulling away than they can when going towards someone's body. This was done in Pulp Fiction when John Travolta's character stabs Uma Thurman's character with the needle full of adrenaline. Another tip is for whip pans, which is when a camera swipes across quickly and lands on something. It can be hard to estimate the exact framing for the end focus, so instead, these are often shot in reverse. I guest starred on an episode of Parker Lewis Can't Lose. We did this beautiful shot. It looks like I gracefully fall backwards and my hair splays out in this pretty fan shape. We started with my lying on the ground, hair placed in the shape, and then my co-star took my hands out of shot and pulled me up to my feet. It looks like I float down and my hair gently radiates. The reverse photography with Sarah and the hatchling is so effective. It gives me the willies every time I see it.
It gives you the gym jams.
It does. We'll talk more about this scene when we get there in our discussion.
Hey Drew, this bar is so cool, and I love your tiki-inspired outfit.
I do like to blend in when I'm on a secret mission. Here, take these and put them in your bag.
What? No! Wait, are these gems? These pieces are amazing. Ooh, I love this creature from the Black Lagoon handcrafted ceramic mug. Oh, and this King Kong watering spike is super cool. Oh my gosh, I also love this American Werewolf in London mug. The work is so detailed.
As you know, these come from More Monsters. Jim Moore sent an email taunting me with these lovely, handmade, one-of-a-kind items. I must have them.
Drew, that was my email. I've asked you 1,000,000 times not to read my emails. We don't need to steal these. Jim is advertising his Etsy page, More Monsters, on our podcast. Revamptees get a special 20% discount. The code is MONSTERMUG, all caps, all one word.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could I see your bag?
Well, you see my friend here, Scooby Dru. Scooby Dru? Drusilla, where are you?
Follow me, ma'am.
But wait, it's my friend. She's obsessed with Jim Moore's work. She didn't realize it's for sale, but saw that you had it in your bar, and I explained everything to her.
Your friend?
Well, she thinks I'm her minion, but she seems to have disappeared.
Right.
Really? This has nothing to do with me.
Tell it to the judge.
Go to More Monsters Etsy page, MOORE, and use the Revamped special 20% discount code, MONSTERMUG.
Synopsis. A brief summary or a general survey. Don't quote me, but I just love to compile, collate, posit, and then conclude. I'm summary gal. Yup, that's me.
Rebecca, do you want to give the synopsis?
Yes, sire. Give us the synopsis of Stinky Eggs.
Bad eggs.
Bad eggs usually means unreliable, dishonest, and a troublemaker. In this episode, Buffy and the gang are facing a body snatcher situation. What begins as a lesson in parental responsibility takes a sinister turn with possession by the offspring of a subterranean dwelling creature that is hungry.
I'm so eggs-cited. Hee hee.
This episode is directed by David Greenwalt, also known as Greenie. It has a great and ambitious first shot at the mall, which starts on a patron's feet, a couple who we will meet soon, and then moves up to Buffy and Joyce on the upper level. Do you know what music is playing at the mall?
No, I don't.
Ah, Mozart. The overture to the Magic Flute.
Speaking of Mozart, Amadeus, Amadeus. Amadeus, Amadeus, Amadeus. All together now. You too, Revamptees.
Amadeus, Amadeus. Amadeus, Amadeus, Amadeus. Amadeus, Amadeus, Amadeus. Oh, 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 Amadeus. Come and rock me, Amadeus.
The cowboy look really makes him stand out right away.
Not a lot of that in Sunnydale. It makes us think that something must be up. The mall looks a bit like the Beverly Center in parts, but this was shot at the Sherman Oaks Galleria. Spoiler alert. Later, when we shot Innocence, that was actually a shut-down mall. Oh my God, have you ever seen any of those abandoned mall videos on YouTube?
Oh, yes, they're incredible. We have a few near where I live, and it's really creepy seeing them after having hung out in these places in the 80s.
It's wild. They really look post-apocalyptic.
Mm-hmm.
Way worse than the 1971 movie The Omega Man.
Yes.
Lots of horror tropes are used in Bad Eggs. The first one is when Buffy follows the couple to the isolated part of the mall and then into the arcade. This was a real gaming center called Time Out Arcade. It was part of the Sherman Oaks Galleria in the 1980s and 1990s and was really popular with teens. It was also featured in the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The music in this sequence is foreboding and builds tension. We don't know what we're in for, but we know it isn't going to be a shopping discount. Eggs-ceptional. Hee hee. Oh my. We meet Lyle Gorch, played by Jeremy Ratchford. He is a Canadian actor who played Detective Andy Russell in Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven, guest starred on many shows such as JAG, Walker, Texas Ranger, CSI, NYPD Blue, Shameless, Cold Case, Hawaii Five-0, NCIS, NCIS New Orleans, Bones, and recurred on The Practice. He voiced Banshee in 18 episodes of X-Men. There's a cool stunt in the first fight between Buffy and Lyle. He does a dive roll and his hat flies off. He catches it mid-roll before leaving, which further establishes his Western style.
I just really thought that that was such a smooth and impressive move. It's interesting going from that to listening to him talk later and hearing just how opposite he is from that smooth moment.
Yes. It made me want to see him do a line dance.
Yes.
I've got a torch for the Gorch.
Really?
He's rugged. Because of the Gorch, who we don't yet know by name, Buffy forgets to pick up Joyce's dress. Joyce says all she asks is for a little responsibility. If she only knew. She goes on to ask if Buffy ever thinks about anything besides boys and clothes. Again, if she only knew. Buffy actually references saving the world from vampires. But Joyce, of course, thinks she's being facetious. Xander and Cordy kiss as a prelude to sex education class in school. This class furthers the banter between them. Did you have sex ed in school?
I did, and it was incredibly uncomfortable to sit through. We had our first sex ed class when I was in 5th grade. All the boys had to leave the classroom, and it was just the girls. Still didn't make it any less awkward. And then it was brought up again in high school, but we were all together. So it was just one of those uncomfortable, necessary things that you have to do. How about you?
We had sex ed in elementary school. It was very clinical with diagrams of fallopian tubes and such, and it still was uncomfortable, like you're saying. Everybody felt awkward about it. Did you ever do the taking care of an egg as if it was a baby assignment? Because I never did.
No, and I wonder if it's because I went to a Catholic school that they really frowned upon that. I knew other people who had the eggs and other schools that actually had like babies that would go off and cry and had more realistic demands.
Oh, you mean baby dolls kind of thing?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
but our school didn't do any of that.
Apparently, some schools still do it.
I think it's important for people to have some sort of understanding about what parenting, especially parenting at a young age, the responsibility that comes with it.
Yes.
So I think it's still a really good idea because a lot of people don't really talk about sex at home. I know my mother, I was waiting to have the sex talk, and it was a real letdown as far as information goes. So yeah, most of the things that I learned from friends, I learned from reading, and a little bit I learned from school.
And the stuff you learn from friends is not accurate a lot of the time.
Well, most of the friends that I had in high school, I definitely wouldn't have taken what anybody was talking about. No offense to you guys, but we were still figuring things out. It was actually an older friend of mine in college who gave me all the tips and everything you need to know, and primarily about being safe and being comfortable.
My friend Lori did the same later. What is the teacher?
What?
An expert. Hee hee. Oh, what? I'm not cracking you up. Cracking. Hee hee. Well, you just can't take a yoke. Hee hee.
Oh,
Oh, stop it. This episode introduces the idea of sex. The makeout sessions go up a notch from where they've been. Throughout Bad Eggs, there are heavy makeout sessions with Xander and Cordy and Buffy and Angel. passions are simmering.
Angel always simmers.
Simmers and smolders and lurks, oh my. The eggs are to show the kids that sex has consequences. The lesson is that sex can lead to pregnancy and massive responsibility, but it's not only the potential consequences of creating new life, but the consequences of sex potentially destroying your old one. Spoiler alert, we're about to see this soon. Season 2 is mapped out so clearly. All the episodes connect thematically and set up what is to come, like a string of pearls. I like that. It is like a string of pearls. Delicately constructed, each pearl leads to the next one and then creates a whole necklace. That's a good one. I remember the big whiteboard in the writer's room of the production office. The whole arc was charted out this season right from the start. This is one of the reasons season 2 is so strong. And me.
Dreamility again.
Yep. Much as the Dark Age was connected to Lie to Me, Bad Eggs continues some of the themes of Ted. It continues the question of what makes a good parent.
Willow is left in the lurch when Xander heads straight for Cordelia to partner up with. After their class squabble, she reaches out to the guy next to her instead.
A lot of this episode is about responsibility, which was also explored in Ted. It builds on that episode. Even this. Cordy and Xander are hiding their relationship, which is not taking on the responsibility of their actions. In the library, we find out that the vampire Buffy fought is part of a duo. We get some backstory about Lyle and his brother. We're told that they're not too smart, but not to underestimate them. It's funny when Buffy thinks the egg is her abstract punishment. When she's told she'll have to look after it without a partner, Buffy moans that she's destined to lead her mother's life and be a single parent.
The whole episode is really a push and pull between Buffy and Joyce about responsibility. Joyce has no idea of the weight of the responsibility that Buffy carries every day.
Yeah, if she only knew. Spoiler alert. Yep, we'll get there. The cuts in this episode are often humorous. Buffy says that she and Angel are not just slaves to passion, and then the next shot is them making out furiously in the graveyard. Who's this cute little guy?
It's my Drac Spookling Bat plushie from Love Pollution, made by Daisy.
Can I play with him?
No, Dracky is still very shy and only likes me to cuddle him. Perhaps when he gets a little older, if you do some really good minioning.
I'll be gentle and careful.
Dear simple minion, I must say no. You are not versed in the ways of Love Pollution bats.
Well, I really want one. Look at how well made it is.
Every single item is handmade from the best quality materials. They're like special memories. Daisy has an array of other special products too.
I'm looking on the site and there are so many cool products. Drew, they have one here called Spooky Doo Bat. Oh, and this one, Halloween Spookling Bat. Oh, I want to get this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
Come, Dracky Bat. Our work here is done. Let me introduce you to Miss Edith.
The website is lovepollution.com. Our listeners get 10% off with the code REVAMP10. All caps, no dashes, no spaces. REVAMP 10. This episode also touches on teenage hormones.
It's all about the hot and the steamy.
This has already been a focus of Joyce's lecture at the mall, the scenes with Xander and Cordy, sex ed class itself, and now in the graveyard.
Also 240-year-old hormones.
Yeah.
He always goes for younger girls. I was only 163 at the time.
A youngster, Lyle and his brother Tector Gorch watch Buffy and Angel making out. Tector is played by James Parks. James has worked with Quentin Tarantino, John Sayles, Robert Rodriguez, Kevin Smith, and David Lynch. His career began with classical training and work in Shakespearean theater. He recurred on The Walking Dead, was in the pilot of Deadwood, and has guest starred on shows like True Blood, NCIS, Bones, CSI, Numbers, and Star Trek Enterprise. These characters were named after the characters played by Warren Oates and Ben Johnson in Sam Peckinpah's iconic 1969 Western film The Wild Bunch. Not named after. People think they died, but they were turned.
Into vampires?
No, into cabbages. Of course, you see them with your own eyes in Sunnydale. The Wild Bunch is regarded as one of the greatest films of all time. It was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the U.S. National Film Registry as culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. The film is ranked 79th on the American Film Institute's list of the 100 best American films and the 69th most thrilling film, and was in their top 10 Westerns list. The cowboy vampire elements remind me a bit of John Carpenter's Vampires, which was released the same year as this episode. Western vampires were in the zeitgeist.
There was a whole theme of vampires and the isolation of being out in the desert. And then later with movies like 30 Days of Night, where you have the isolation of the dark, but up in the Arctic. It's just kind of a beautiful way of expanding the playground of the vampires.
Ooh, love that. For most kissing scenes between Buffy and Angel, Sarah and David pranked each other by eating onions, garlic, and things of that nature for stinky breath kisses. I told you it should be called Stinky Eggs. You did, but maybe it should be called Stinky Buzzy.
Buffy names her egg Egbert. Funny enough that we have a seasonal egg that sits on a throne in town called Egbert. And people come from all over to visit him like Santa every year. And as soon as you walk in the room, he's this all-knowing egg who knows your name and talks about what you're wearing. And then you get a picture taken with him.
Really? Where
Yeah.
is this?
It's up in New Windsor, New York. It's Egbert. Everybody goes to see him every year.
Oh my gosh. And is he a real egg or he's a made up?
He's an egg that they've built
Ah.
that has a crown, very much like Humpty Dumpty. It sits on a throne. And I remember as a kid, you'd walk in the room and all of a sudden the egg would start talking to you and say, oh, I like that purple sweater. And you're like, how does he know everything? How can he see what I'm wearing?
Oh my
I
gosh.
still have friends that go every year, even as adults, to do it.
That's amazing. Do you have pictures with Egbert?
You know, I'm going to have to search that out. I
Yeah,
have him somewhere.
we want to see it. I'm sure our Patreon peeps would love it too.
I will track down some Egbert pictures for everybody.
A chicken and egg walk into a bar, and the bartender asks, who's first? Hee Hee. Bacon and eggs walk into a bar. The bartender says, sorry, we don't serve breakfast here. Hee Hee. Oh my gosh. While Buffy's asleep, the egg hatches with a weird, slithery tentacle hand. We talked about this in the BTS. I always grimace when watching this part. Dev made an audible sound this time. The tentacles go into her ear, eyes, around her throat. It gives me the heebies. As discussed, this is the section that was shot backwards.
I thought what also made it particularly creepy was the choice of colors for the creature. There's something about that pale purple against your skin that just gives you the feeling that this thing is wet.
Ugh.
And the idea of getting around your neck or close to your ear when you're most vulnerable and sleeping is just beyond creepy.
Right now I'm getting the heebies just talking about it. The sewer set is used again. Lyle threatens Tector that he'll beat him like a red-headed stepchild. Do you know what that references and where that saying comes from?
I don't, but it's one that I've heard almost all my life.
This was a citation from 1910. It was anti-Irish sentiment in America, where Irish immigrants were often treated badly and associated with red hair. It also related to questions of paternity, where a red-haired child in a non-red-haired family was seen as proof of a wife's infidelity and was mistreated by the father. Despite Lyle's jib, you can tell these guys are two peas in a pod.
You really get that brotherly vibe with the two of them, right down to their posturing with each other and their whole Three Stooges act taking swings at each other.
Yippee-yi-yay. More like, why-I-oughta. The Gorch brothers really seem to like clocking one another. We go back to Buffy's room in the morning, and the egg looks normal. Things often really do look and seem better in the morning, but in this case, it's a false sense of tranquility. Buffy says that she didn't sleep well and that she feels funky. Joyce again alludes to teenage hormones when she jokingly asks if the egg kept Buffy up all night, and then jokes again about Buffy waiting till the egg starts dating. She mentions two difficult times in parenting, babydom and teenage years. She left out the terrible twos. Willow is also sluggish and feeling off. In the library, Xander drops his egg and we find out that he boiled it.
Why does he like hard-boiled eggs?
I don't know. A lot of...
No, ask why.
Okay. Why?
They're hard to beat.
Hee Hee. Okay.
What sport was Xander's egg best at before he boiled it?
I don't know. What?
Running. Hee Hee. Are you running out of egg jokes? Wait, don't even answer that. Let's just move on. I'll give you any space to do that. There's another egg visible when Giles reshelves a book. It's very ominous. Then there's more smooching in the graveyard, very audible smoochies and panting. They talk about the fact that Angel can't have children. Since vampires can't have children, sex with Angel appears potentially safer, at least in that regard, between sex and humans. Spoiler alert, Angel asks Buffy where she visualizes herself in 5 years. In about 4 years, Angel does have a child. Buffy says when she looks into the future, all she sees is Angel. Namby-pamby buzzy. Quiet time, Drew. The camera moves to a gravestone which reads, "In loving memory," a foreshadowing of dark events to come. Grave Robbers from Outer Space card game is the game where you create your own B-movie and have a blast doing it.
I love my movie's title this round. The House of the Vampire Goddess and the Annihilation of the Naughty Minion.
Since I'm not your minion, I like it too. All right. My cute vampire girl attacks your aged vampire hunter. Time to make him a ghoul to serve me.
Diamonds are a ghoul's best friend.
Come on, Drew. You always drag out your turn.
I'll discard his sharp stake, but your cute vampire girl is now dust.
Not so fast. I play Hiss and Flee, so she's safely back in my hand.
Fair move. Secretly happy the vamp is okay. How many characters do you have left?
3. My prom queen, the bookish girl with no boyfriend, and a big bad wolf. Why?
Oh, plot twist. The doomsday device goes off. Everyone dies.
It's really weird, Drew. You always seem to get that one.
I did say. Annihilation of the naughty minion.
I'm not your minion.
1, 2, 3, 4. And guess what?
What?
I win. Again.
The link so you can see how to play the game and get your own sets of cards is graverobbersgame.com. The 10% discount code for our listeners is Re-Vamped. All one word, small case, no dash as our title has. Just Re-Vamped for 10% off at graverobbersgame.com.
We see the security guard go down to the basement. And as we know, nothing good ever comes from going down to a basement.
Has he not seen every horror movie ever made?
I literally just had some issues in my basement with the water heater and the boiler. And The guy kept saying like, oh, don't worry, I'll show you. We'll just go down to the basement. And I just looked at him and said, no, trust me, I'm good. This is what I'll pay you for.
You do it. You did it like the horror
You
movie.
go down.
You separated one by one.
Yes.
Let's go below the surface on that one. Hee hee. Buffy gets home and sees her egg shaking. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. All together now. Re-Vamped, join us. Okay. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. Well, you never do nothing to save your doggone soul. Oh my God.
I know. We keep going with these songs that have deep drop-offs.
I know. It's all Drusilla's fault.
Damn it, Drew.
You know, I'm so glad I'm a multimedia artist, including songstress.
Multimedia?
I wouldn't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Hee hee. Let's discuss Buffy's egg, which hatches a la Aliens. This scene is a tribute to the facehugger scene in that movie. Something that made Dev, me, and our editor Patrick laugh is Buffy with the iron. Dev does his take on iron as weapon wielding in our film A Place Among the Dead. Buffy is planning to put a serious crease in it. Hee hee.
Drew, you have become such a punster.
I've got to express myself. Hee hee. I've been coming out of my shell. Hee hee. The crab, spider, scorpion, alien movie-esque hatchling is creepy. Also disturbing is Willow's deadpan look when she lies to Buffy and is already possessed. I bet you noticed the hair continuity issue in this scene.
Yes. Willow's hair is alternately over her right shoulder and behind her back in each cut throughout the scene. Another example of how hair, makeup, and wardrobe are used to reinforce the story. Usually we see Willow very organized. And by showing this disjointed moment really lets us know that something's not right. It might just be a coincidence, but I think it lends itself to saying this is not the normal Willow that we know.
So you thought of it not as a continuity issue where hair missed that it was behind and in front on some takes, but that they actually used it or kept it in to make it feel that she is destabilized?
Yes. Again, it could just have been a continuity issue, but I think in this one it works just to really let you know that something's off.
Well, it does. Because the thing is with the hair, I didn't notice it the first viewing, but when I was looking at it again, I saw it. And I think her whole presence in it is so unnerving. And the scene itself has that feeling, and it does add to that.
And then when you see exactly where the creature attaches itself, her hair covering and being moved around, again, it makes more sense that they left it, whether it was planned or not.
Buffy ends up getting grounded. Did you get grounded?
Only really once. I'd had an argument with my mom, and being an angry kid, I went upstairs and crawled under her bed, which I never, ever did. And I ended up falling asleep there. When I woke up, maybe an hour later, everybody was looking for me. They were out in the woods. They'd gone up the mountain, and yeah, I got grounded. I was in a theater performance at the time, and I wasn't allowed to go to rehearsal that night. So it really taught me a lesson. There's a limit as to what I could get away with.
Do you think you got grounded for the first fight or for hiding and them panicking and looking for you, or was it a combo?
I think it was definitely for hiding and them looking for me because everybody was so afraid of what had happened to me. So the grounding was for causing that kind of level of fear for everybody. Definitely that. How about you?
I didn't really get grounded. We didn't really have boundaries in my house. And I think you need boundaries with kids. And these kind of things are opportunities to teach that there's, again, repercussions and responsibility for your actions, which is what this whole episode is exploring. To be continued.
Let's get ready to Buffy!
Vengeance Val was the victor in our first inaugural Battle of the Uber Buffy fans. If you would like to challenge her title and be considered as a contender for this season's battle, please email revampedpod@gmail.com. Yes, be sure to include your name, where you weigh in with your number of watch-throughs, where you're located, something interesting about you, or something you think would be good to share.
And your social media handles.
Yes, woohoo! Woohoo! Boop boop be Dru. Revamptees, please correspond with me on our Patreon page, Revamped with Juliet Landau, on Twitter, @Juliet Landau, on Instagram, @Juliet_Landau, and on the Fans of Juliet Landau Facebook group, or Juliet Landau official Facebook page. Patreon peeps to be read in the credits: Dave Hall, Fonnie June Kendall, Daniel Harbour, Louise Brennan, Brandon Key, Cameron Burton, Donnie Ruskin, Madeline Pruitt, Marion Stevenson, Antonio H. Gutierrez, and Bobby Pelham. It makes all the difference because we cannot keep making the show without you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Until we meet again.
See you next time when we do it again. Do it again. Until then, rewatch, revamp, reinvent, and be remarkable you.